Hey, every people. Today's kind of an exciting day for me. I've got a lot of family coming in from out of town, far away out of town, to attend my dad's memorial this weekend. We're finally doing that. We did it so far past his passing because we wanted to give people an opportunity to get passports and make travel arrangements and that sort of thing. And I'm going to be seeing some family that I haven't seen in 20 years, 25 years, 35 years, and some family I've never even met. And so that's kind of cool. We have our nuclear family moved to Canada in the early 70s. And we kind of felt isolated in some ways just because of the expense of travel and the expense back in those days of telephone calls. Not to mention we didn't have a telephone in the house that we moved to when we first moved here. And even after the internet and everything, there was sort of a status quo. I mean, we just sort of didn't communicate. And once Dad passed, those lines of communication opened up, and that's one of the positive things that have come from Dad dying, is we've reestablished. I mean, with the internet, there's no excuse. Obviously, I'm in these Hangouts and Skype conversations and whatnot with perfect strangers. Probably should be able to talk to my own family. So I was getting ready today, and I had a little bit of a kind of an anxiety attack, and I had to calm myself down. And I was thinking a lot about the increase that I've had in migraines over the last little while and stress, because I've done a lot of things to try and alleviate these migraines. I've dropped white sugar, we've gone gluten free, I've lost 20 some odd pounds, cut my caffeine intake back. I've started taking magnesium supplements and feverfew and a bunch of other things, and none of that really seems to have made much of a difference. The increasing frequency of the migraine still has me concerned, especially with mine, because they come with so many neurological symptoms that are really troubling and that last beyond. I have this refractory period of sometimes weeks afterwards where my reading comprehension is a little bit off, and I just don't feel comfortable in my own skin. I have this a foggy, brain fog kind of feeling. And I was thinking a lot about stress because I think deep down I kind of know that that's probably what's causing it, is an increase in stress over the last several years. What with moving to a new house and doing a whole bunch of renovations and going from a pretty nice mortgage to a real mortgage and building a new shop and just all the things that entails, and the sort of perfectionist nature that I and my wife both tend to have. And I think that's a double-edged sword. I know that my wife sometimes goes through anxiety as well, and also sometimes when she can't get to sleep. And I was thinking a lot today about that, about stress and about this perfectionist nature. And I really do feel like it is a double-edged sword. My wife and I are the type of people, we're always 5 minutes early at least, to somewhere. We're always ready. We always have everything arranged. Whatever needs to be done is done. And it frustrates us when other people are not that way. These people who seem to go through life haphazardly, and they're always late, and they always they don't have their stuff together. They just don't seem to give a flying fandango, and it stresses us out. Those people stress us out. And I was thinking about that today. I was walking the dog and enjoying a beautiful morning. It is incredible here right now. It's the most beautiful day we've had so far this year. And I was thinking, what in the world do I have to be stressed about? And it's difficult, of course. I'm 46, so who you are tends to be accumulation of what you've done up until that point. So it's very difficult, I think, to just sort of turn on a dime and drop that. And my wife and I have talked about it too on occasion. We'll say, what about those people who go through life just totally haphazardly, and they seem to be so relaxed and so at ease? Perhaps we need to be more like them. Maybe we should stop fighting that, stop being so frustrated by those people, and adopt a little bit more of their devil-may-care attitude. Not that that's ever going to be completely possible. My vocation doesn't allow me to be, to go through haphazardly. I take a lot of pride in what I do, and my business is successful, I think, because of that, because people know they can depend on me to fix things properly. And my wife as well. She's in a very technical field, and she could not just, perfection is absolutely key in her trade as well. But I think we could slowly adopt more of that lifestyle. Maybe a pre-retirement mentality. You know, let's start the slope towards retirement or something, and just see what that does. And I would be really interested to hear any feedback from any of you out there on what you think on this particular topic, on this fine line between perfectionism and, you know, anxiety attacks and stress and sleeplessness and that sort of thing. And of course, the opposite end of the spectrum, the people who go through life and they seem to, some people are fortunate, you know, they seem to just bounce happily from success to success. And then there are others who are still sort of haphazard, and they may have a little more difficult time of life, but they don't seem to care too much that they're going through difficulties. I don't know. I enjoy having things organized, and I enjoy having things clean and tidy. Some of you have commented on my shop, on the videos where I'm recording from inside the shop, and I do like to keep the shop clean and neat and tidy, and I like to be on time for things, and I like to do what I say I'm going to do. But sometimes I think that can be really hard on a person up here, unless they maybe I'm dealing with it wrong. Maybe you can be a perfectionist, and it's the way I'm processing that and how much time I'm spending dealing with that up here. One thing that I did think of when I was walking the dog this morning is that I'm going to need to probably do some thought policing, regardless of what I do, whether I start to try to become a little more devil may care or whether I just try to manage the stress that I do have better. I think I'm going to have to do a little bit more thought policing. And if I start mulling over things that I really can't control in the moment and have already been dealt with or already arranged, I need to recognize that and, you know, erase it out of my mind and replace it with something relaxing at that moment. You know, that's one of the things. That's one of the strategies that I'd used throughout my life to manage self-esteem issues and other issues as well, as this policing of thoughts. And I may have to start doing more of that to manage the stress, because I don't like the fact that I get these darn migraines more frequently than I used to. I'm sort of trying some new herbal remedies and things now, Butterbur and coenzyme Q10 and some other things like that. And my goal is no longer to eradicate them, although, I mean, of course, that's my ultimate goal. But really what I'd like to see now is just to go back to the frequency that I used to have. I would actually be okay with that at this point in my life. And it could be, too. I'm just going through hormonal changes at this stage of my life as well. And it could be I'm going through a period where I'm going to have more frequent migraines, and then they're going to be less frequent later. But I have noticed a lot more anxiety, and so that's something I really want to work towards managing. So I appreciate all of you letting me use you as a sounding board. And if you have any stories to share, certainly, you know, with regards to these kind of things, and if you have any advice or hints or tips, I'd certainly love to converse with you about that. And I probably won't make too many videos in the next short while, just because we've got my dad's memorial this weekend coming up, and then I've taken an additional week off. I'm hoping to do some motorcycle riding and just do some cathartic relaxation, you know, of the two-wheeled variety. Take my camera and my remote control helicopter and throw them in the saddlebags and head up the mountain and fart around for a little while. I'm looking forward to that. So, and then we'll get back to maybe some topical videos. Thanks everyone very much for watching.